But it seems to me, if this is, in the words of many public officials, just an ordinary business deal, that it can be explained as such. And I would think that in such a situation that Mr. Orr can give such an explanation and that it should not hurt him politically. However, obviously, if he can't give a valid and reasonable explanation, I think it hurts politically. But I think that this is what it's all about. I think that your conduct as a public official should be scrutinized in the course of a political campaign.
And I think that Dallas County is getting tired of his mistakes, and I don't think they're ready for his mistakes. Apparently, every time he turns around, he does not have the facts. And here again, I think he's just trying to discredit me. And if he can prove any dishonesty on my part concerning my bank or my business operations, my part since I've been a commissioner, since I've been state chairman of the Democratic Party, I want him to prove it or forever shut up.
Oh, I think that we're recognizing these individuals without any difficulty at all. I think they will have experienced some changes. I think one of the big things is that they're going to have time gap in which things have been going on here that we take for granted every day that they have no awareness of. Their existence has been quite different with none, of the sensory inputs that we get all the time. I think a lot of time this gap in just what has happened as far as their families are concerned, what has happened as far as our society is concerned here.
We're going to raise money by asking the public to send in their contributions to the Republic National Bank in Dallas, which covers the northern part of Texas. And the addicts from all these localities have been coming down to Dallas for help, which is very unsuccessful because of lack of funds. And we're going out to get them funds and also to help publicize the battle of drugs.
Millie, I understand that y'all have been married for 7 months now. How do you feel about being locked up for 15 months with this guy?
I feel good about it.
You looking forward to the excursion?
Right.
Mr. Petro, how did you train him to do that?
With a lot of time and patience.
Was it hard to train him to ask for pennies like that?
Yes, it takes about 2 years to train a monkey right,
How long have you been doing this?
About 3 years.
but it's been in the family about 100. My grandfather was an organ grinder, and my father's an organ grinder. I was with a retail chain, a big, large retail chain, for about 15 years. And then I decided to go on this and travel around, see the country a little bit. We enjoy traveling, and I enjoy animals, and I enjoy children, and I just get a big kick out of it. Like the young kids say, I'm doing my thing.
Do you make much money at this?
No, not really. We just make enough to travel and enjoy life a little bit, and see the country a little bit.
You may not make much money being an organ grinder, but it sure is a lot of fun. Martha McIntyre, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Well, it's our hope that the Wallace supporters will turn out in massive numbers and just inundate these conventions and just take them over by sheer weight of the force.
You really don't expect that to happen, though,
Yes,
do you?
I do.
Why do you expect that to happen?
Because I think Governor Wallace has a very, very strong appeal to the average man in this country, and in Texas particularly. An organization which was set up at the specific request of Governor.
Lieutenant Governor Ben Barnes and Governor Preston Smith both turned out today at the invitation of the Rock Creek Barbecue Club. But Barnes didn't stay very long. He had a social of his own in Dallas. So Smith had the spotlight mostly to himself at this affair near Grand Prairie. But not entirely. Outside the fence, a small group from the Dallas County Women's Political Caucus who came to protest the segregation of the Rock Creek Club. Smith did most of his campaigning inside the fence, while the women stayed outside, in keeping with the club's tradition of barring women from its barbecues for more than 40 years. But inside were several hundred potential votes, even if they were all men, and according to the polls, Smith needs all the votes he can get.
To each of those here, let me say this to you, what a pleasure it is to be with you. And to tell you that when you serve as governor of Texas, you have a tremendous job, but you have to run a little bit and campaign a little bit if you're going to keep on serving.
Between 8 and 10,000 men and women and children flocked to Keith's Park this afternoon. There were lots of attractions to draw them. 3 different bands, country, rock, and Dixieland, free fried chicken, some 9,000 boxes were distributed, untold gallons of soft drinks, Ben Barnes frisbees, Ben Barnes posters and bumper stickers to be signed by Cowboy football players, Ben Barnes kites, and even Ben Barnes. Radio ads for the affair promised a free trip to Hawaii for some lucky people, but the Secretary of State frowned upon candidates for governor going quite that far, so that enticement was withdrawn. The Barnes supporters also assured me that they never were going to offer nickel beer. After making sure there was a chicken in every pot, the hard-running candidate made a speech and hurried off to Rivershawn Park to give away tacos. For Channel 8 News in the Moose, this is Judy Hanna. Fair Park's Spring Jubilee was in full flower today. The main event was the first annual Dallas Spring Jubilee Olympic-style bicycle race, an event for the hardy only. 11 a.m. was the starting time for the senior men's 100-kilometer bicycle race, and that is 62.5 very long, hot miles. Almost 3 hours later, those who were very serious about picking up a trophy were still at it. Kim Papa George, a Dallas man, wheeled across far ahead of his competitors, some of whom were no longer able to wheel their $200 worth of scrap metal. Special activities, as well as all the midway rides, will be going on through April 16th at the Spring Jubilee in Fair Park, and it's mostly free. For Channel 8 News in the Move, this is Judy Hanna.
We will appoint a 11-member committee probably a week from this Monday, composed of outstanding citizens dedicated to the proposition of parks and recreation. I don't guarantee that the Commissioners Court will do everything that is recommended or that we would be able to, but I do feel that there will be a vast improvement.
Glad to see you.